at the start of a Tanner trailhead. It's kind of a moody morning. The storm is passing. I was such a hot mess last night. Barely slept. Definitely nervous. First time solo. And I'm doing a pretty difficult route, but I've been here many, many times before. So I'm at the Tanner trailhead right now near Lipan Point. I have just over 12 miles to do and about 5,000 feet of descent from the rim to the river to my camp. My route took me from the Tanner Trail to the Beamer Trail and back again. The whole route is roughly 38 miles with 9,000 feet of gain and loss, depending on whose GPS you ask. They are never really that accurate here in the canyon. My destination, the confluence of the Little Colorado and Colorado rivers, known for its fickle turquoise blue waters and a sacred space to many of the Native American tribes that call the canyon home. Or maybe my destination was something a little different, something less tangible. The day before I set out, a rugged rain and sleet storm settled over the canyon and surrounding area. I was really nervous about ice and snow and even washed out trails near the rim. The trail starts off rugged and steep, slapping you right across the face as if to say, I'm in charge here. We made it down the first mile and a half of the Tanner, which is arguably the toughest, probably one of the toughest sections of the hike. I am not looking forward to going back up that. It's just really steep, but that's fine. That's future Meg's problem. I did 1,700 feet of descent in a mile and a half. Starting to feel a lot less nervous and a lot more in my element. I just really jive with this landscape and this environment, as harsh and insane as it is. It's just got a piece of my soul, and I'm kind of going through a thing in my life, so I kind of want to get torn up and rebuilt a little bit on this trip. It's the reason I'm here. But I needed some space to process and enjoy views like this. Sexy. Now I'm hanging out on the Esplanade, where the going gets a little easier for a while. I love the Esplanade Plateau. It's really lovely. It's just, the soil is so rich and red, and there's canyon above you, canyon below you. You really start to get a sense for how vast everything is. Just reached my water cache, woohoo! I'm almost halfway to the river, so getting there. I just shed 2 pounds from my bag. I feel like a whole new person. Actually, that's not true, but it does make a difference. I am about to drop into the red wall layer, and the red wall is really interesting. So it circumnavigates the entire canyon, in and out, in and out. You can see it, the big red cliff. And when it does that, it is just like a sheer drop for hundreds of feet. And throughout the entire canyon, which is like over 230 river miles, which is a lot, there's only 167 places where you can drop into the red wall from either side of the canyon. It's the north or the south side. And that makes it very impenetrable, because the mileage of red wall is easily 4 times the mileage of the river. There's the red wall, and this is the break. And we've come down all of that quite a bit in a little bit of time. Still got more to go. So I'm on an easier part of the trail. It is stunning. Wow. I think there are some things that are just occurring to me in life. I'm almost 40. I have a 2-year-old daughter. And recently I shut down my business of 8 years that I built from nothing, because I just needed a new direction. And I feel confident in that decision, just like I feel confident here. I feel so confident in this landscape, not in an egotistical way, but in a connected to my own energy. You know, it's not that, oh, I can come conquer here. It's more like I can feel connected to the land and myself. So as I'm listening to the birds and the sounds of the rapids, I'm just sort of thinking about what it means to have strength. Strength can be connection. Strength can be standing in your confidence to make a decision, even if it's not the easiest one to make. The canyon kind of teaches us those things. This place is incredibly healing, and that's why I'm here. I did it. Rim to river in a day. Literally. Here is river. Now for my next trick, shade. Busting out my sun umbrella. And this can take the temperature down by 10 degrees around you. So quite pleasant, and I'm enjoying the easy walking. Just went over Char Hill behind me. Char? No idea how to pronounce it. I'm at my river camp. Colors are starting to come out. It's really nice. I've just been relaxing, honestly. I'm really just enjoying the quiet. A lot more than I thought I would, honestly. I wasn't quite sure I'd enjoy the quiet so much. The last time I went solo camping, I really didn't like it. It was really hard in the evenings. But I'm really tired. I definitely put in work today, and I know I'll probably go to bed with this lulling rapids behind me. So it's a little before 6. I've got my coffee sitting in a sleeping bag. Just waiting for it to get a little bit lighter out. I just don't want to go in the dark because it is supposed to be a little bit of like watch your footing, and I just think it would be better to go when it's a little light. I got 15 miles to do today. So Confluence in the Little Colorado River is a sacred place for many indigenous tribes to the Grand Canyon. All of their histories about how they were forcibly removed from this landscape are extremely sad and depressing and unfortunate, because many national parks across the world know how to let their indigenous communities live with them. Many origin stories for the Native Americans of the Grand Canyon. I think there's at least 4 tribes I can name off the top of my head. The Hopi, the Havasupai, the Halupai, and the Navajo. I'm sure there are others. Have ties to this place I'm visiting today. They often talk about how narrow this thing is, right on the edge of a cliff. They're definitely not kidding. Here's a real narrow bit. It's flat though, very solid. Feels fine. I think if you're a little squeamish of heights, look up, not down. Let's talk about bad hairdos and microtrain. Saw that down and up, and the trails up higher. It doesn't show up on your topo. So you may be reading the route being like, hey, this is pretty flat. It's not. And it's a lot of that on this trail. Oh, it's supposed to be turquoise blue, but the rain didn't grant me that luck. It's the same muddy brown as the Colorado. A little bit of a bummer. So I'm heading back on Lay Beamer. A little disappointed, but I'm not surprised. It rained so much. It rained for like 2 days. Even though the flow levels are pretty low, it seems like it takes a few extra days at good flow levels till you get clear turquoise water. Set off from Palisade Creek, just about to cross the creek, and heading into what I call the scorched earth of Sauron, because the watchtower totally reminds me of Sauron. I can see it up ahead. I got 3 miles to Tanner. So maybe can't, but my shirt is soaking wet. I dunked it in the river because it acts like a great air conditioner. It's a really good way to stay cool for about 20-30 minutes. Made it to my little Tanner camp. It was a sweaty hike, so sweaty, and a little bit more than 3 miles. You can see I'm just foul at this point. I got this little beach where I can go swim. So I think I'm gonna take a dip, clean up, and just relax and enjoy my time here. River otter on the move. There it goes. Oh, that was so cool. It's 4:30 in the morning and I'm moving river to rim today, baby. Going out. I wanted to hike early because there's a lot of really pretty moonlight, and I wanted to have a coffee at my cache for sunrise. Just about made it to my cache. You can see my water bottle up ahead. It was so hard. Oh my God. It was 3.8 miles with 3,000 feet of gain. A lot of it was over 1,000 foot a mile. Coffee awaits. So does this view. I'm gonna take a real nice break. I'm not in a real huge rush to get out of here. It took me 2 hours to do that. That's booking it. That'd take most people 3 hours, so. Whew. Took a nice coffee break, but also got pretty cold. I am awaiting the sun and moving along the Esplanade. I got probably around 2.5 miles of some happier walking before a extremely punishing grind up the Coconino. Almost to the top. Breathing heavily because it's steep, but it's been mostly in the shade, which saved my butt. Just been slow and steady, slow and steady. Feeling really accomplished, really sweaty and dirty, but amazingly accomplished. I tackled about 38 miles in the canyon by myself, and I got to explore a huge part of the river area, which was newer for me, so it was amazing. I'm gonna miss it here, but I'm gonna be glad to have a bed tonight. Yeah, I did it. Woo!